guys, welcome back. This is Hitakshi, and I have always steered clear of the book versus adaptation battle, but this one kind of chased me down. Today, we will be talking about the book, The Good Girl's Guide to Murder, versus the show that Netflix recently rolled out. Now, I stayed up late last night to complete the show and pen down all my thoughts, so let's get started. Starting with all the things that the show got right. First, Pip's, Ravi's, and the main characters' casting. I love the characters coming alive pretty much just how I imagine them to be, just in the looks, by the way, right? Except a few. Second was the cute little setup. Little Kilton is set up with all these adorable houses and homely places. It just feels like, a small homely town right out of a fairy tale. Third, I loved Naomi's character here. She was brave, she took stand and even helped Pip several times. She was just so charming. But that's about it. Those are the only things that the show got right. Everything else, the show entirely messed up. For starters, Pip's dad calls her chicken. Chicken! And not pickle. Like, I know Netflix, both are food items, but it just doesn't hold the same emotion. You cannot just replace the nickname by throwing a dart at random food names. Now to legit start. In the books, the opening scene itself is of Pip looking out to Sal's house and recalling how they are being treated, creating a subtle curiosity, followed by her directly knocking and a hesitant Ravi opening. Pip here is also very jittery and nervous about it, which sets the entire tone for the book right. While in the show, we see Andy talking with a bloody head, which kind of seems too much in the face and desperate to grab attention. Then Pip goes on about her routine in the start, which sets her as the main point and not the case, like Sal Singh's house in the book. Moreover, in the show, she tales a surprisingly nonchalant Ravi who seems too much unbothered and aloof, even speaks like an average happy teenager, with his charm to Pip. Opposed to a very introverted, grief stricken, and a little bullied Ravi in the book. And this is just the beginning. A lot of the book's story gets lost, and the premise is entirely set wrong. The show doesn't dwell much into building the environment but tries to shove important parts haphazardly and changing not just the sequence but the entire character setups too. Like, take Nada Silva for example. Her character from the book and from the show are two complete different people. Even their relations with Andy is also different. They just took the name of a character from the book and put it on a basic friend story in the show, which again sets the premise for Dan Da Silva's story a little wrong, a little off the track. They rewrote and fumbled the perfect storyline. You don't feel convinced of Pip's genuine interest in solving the case without the correct premise, and it all just feels like, picking random vegetables from a proper dish and cutting them and serving them in a plate. The connections feel empty too. Pip and her friends seemed genuinely close in the book, while the show fails to embody that coziness and warmth in their friendship, leaving their interactions vacuous. Even there is no chemistry between Pip and Ravi. I mean, look how he's holding her in this scene. Ravi isn't as supportive of Pip either. Not like she deserves it anyway, being all entitled and majorly vapid for her book counterpart. I think I felt most betrayed by the show when they tried dragging Victor's name through mud and had Pip doubt her own dad for no reason. While in the books, Victor and Pip's family was a rock solid support for her. I genuinely hated the show Pip way more than the slight annoyance with books Pip. The show made her look too selfish, stupid, and apathetic too. Also, altered revelations kept happening with basic as, or in fact, no efforts at all. Like they were falling from the skies. There was no proper detectiveness or scavenging for the evidence and then finally reaching those points. It just felt like, they just put a puzzle together without giving them the pieces. So, ending it with a good thing. I like the last scene when Andy refuses to help Becca, not because she doesn't care about her and calling her fat, but instead because she's the one who sold drugs to Max Hastings that led to all this thing happening. And I think that is the only subpar good, semi-fitting thing. But of course, my view is heavily biased, and maybe a first-time watcher may love the show, but as someone who has read and loved the book so much, it was barely a 2 out of 5. That is also me being a little generous. The book is just way too good and feels more real, more personal. So yeah, that was it about the video. I highly recommend that you read the book and not go for the show because it just doesn't click right. So yeah, we'll see you again maybe in the second part of the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. So, bye bye.